Hello and welcome to Glorious Miniatures. My name is Jolyon, and in today's video we are going to be building something from the new Leviathan box set. In fact, we're going to be building Von Ryan's Leapers. As you can see right here. Not that thing right there. The thing on the right hand page. We've got 3 of them to build. And right here, as I'm pointing, as you can see right there, we will be building 3 of them. They are all slightly different. Not too many parts each of them. Also, the lighting of this is slightly wonky, so I do apologize on this video. Hopefully the next one won't be quite so wonky. But there is my hand. I'm going to wiggle my fingers, and then hopefully we're going to get to work on building them. So, start off with the first one, and then I will build that in its entirety, and then I will build the second one. Well, that'll be built a lot quicker, sort of double the fast speed. If that makes sense. Double the fast speed. Doesn't make sense. It should make sense once you start to see it. So we are going to speed up the footage, and I'm going to use this. We're going to build the first one. So we got, I think, about 6 or 7 pieces to take off this sprue. A little bit of cleanup on them. It's not a huge amount, to be honest, on these Von Ryan's Leapers. I'm going to get that name completely skew-if at some point. I know, and also I think on this particular sprue you do have to go and hunt around for different pieces. It's slightly frustrating, I seem to remember, but that's okay. I'm looking for one of the parts right now. I have a feeling, I was expecting them all to be like the sort of top left of the sprue up there, but I have a feeling one of the parts we're looking for is right down there. So you do have to hunt a little bit. And if you're a bit oblivious like me, it might take slightly longer than it might normal. We'll get there in the end, though. Okay, let's get these things off. I'm going to put that part there. I'm also using those numbers on the top of that cutting mat as a sort of vague representation of the numbers of the parts. Or at least I try to. Sometimes it works out quite well. Other times it's a complete disaster, and I should just stick to sort of doing things in the normal way. And there was another part I think I was looking for right here. Just got it. Yeah. Normally, like, I have noticed GW, the parts have been... Ooh, look at that. That was an interesting transition. Beautiful. And also the light has been fixed. I am recording this on my phone. So rather than my normal cameras that I would be using, so things are slightly different. I'm not too used to recording on the camera on my phone, so I do apologize for that. And also the lighting situation is also a bit wonky. However, I am desperately trying to... This video, I was building up all these tyranids. I was desperately trying to get rid of that GW paint. I'm not very fond of that particular pot of glue. And also, it is a bit slower on the actual sort of melting together. It's not horrific glue. I just prefer the Revel stuff and indeed the Tamiya you can see right there on the screen. In fact, I have actually swapped that out. Not swapped it out, but I have purchased a different brand just to try out the sort of quick one. What are we doing right there? I can't remember what I was doing, but we got to get these legs on. And they've also got sort of 2 sets of arms, an upper set and a lower set. Well, we'll see what we do. I think I'll put the legs on first. This is slightly irritating, and I know later on I do put some glue out and the entire needle just flies out. But there we go. Get some glue in there. Get this lower leg on. Eventually, I know one of them was being put on and it was not going together right. It didn't feel quite right. So I was sort of maneuvering the arm around in its socket until it sort of clicked into place. We're going to get the middle arm in first and then the top arm. Just because I think it's going to be easier to get access to the middle bit now rather than later. Make sure that's in there nice and tightly. I'm going to add in a little bit more there just to sort of make sure we've got a nice tight fit. Okay, I think this was the limb which was being a bit weird. So I was maneuvering it around a little bit. Folks, I am going to be building all of the tyranids on up on YouTube, and hopefully also the Space Marine side of the box. I know everyone else, a lot of other people have done these sorts of videos as well. I will be adding mine to the list. I'm also trying to figure out new, different ways of doing these videos, and hopefully I can find something vaguely interesting. Otherwise, what I would like to do in the next house is certainly do these, but these will be more like live streams where I sort of build up a kit and have a chat with my lovely viewers, and yeah. So I don't know, we'll get something done though. Anyway, so now working on its right hand side. I'm going to do that leg first. I'm going to add a bit more of that because I was not happy with the amount of glue that came out of that Warhammer Games Workshop glue pot. I think it's almost coming to the end of its lifespan, which I'm kind of happy about, to be honest. Make sure there's enough glue there. This kit is relatively simple. I'm still pretty certain I've got the color scheme planned out for this. I need to do some test paints on probably a termagant or two, and I will be doing a video of that hopefully soon. I'm just going to attach that, make sure he's on his base. I'm not 100% sure on how I'm going to do the base, but I'm not going to glue it on in its entirety. I'm going to have it so you can still pop the miniature off the base and then attach it to something else or something more substantial later. We are going to get the top arms on now. I'm going to make sure those middle sort of things are indeed glued and nice and tightly on there. But as I said, not quite used to this yet. The settings for the camera, the focus point is... I think I had... The height that I had the camera, it was struggling with focusing. So... I think I have finally figured that out. I just changed the height of the camera and then it seemed to be much better, but unfortunately not until, well, at least this video is over, so it's a bit of a disaster on my side of things. I do apologise, it's ever so slightly blurry, but you do get the general gist. It's going to apply some pressure to that while that glue sort of, I don't want to say dries, or melts and does its thing. Give that a bit of a shake. I'm fully aware that that brush extends, by the way. Do not worry. You don't have to tell me in the comments below. I will eventually get that brush sort of extended when I remember. For the moment, I just like to cause myself more work. So I think I did struggle with... I think there is a sort of locating nodule on that arm bit. There's a sort of like the main bobble which goes into the sort of socket, and there's like a locating bobble as well which sort of goes into a little divot on the torso. I think that's about that, really. Yes, even if it is slightly out of focus. I'll say it's going to be an interesting paint. I have the only tyranids I've painted thus far in my life since Space Hulk back in 1989 or 1990 was some Gene Stealers from, I think, the fourth edition, I think, of Space Hulk, in fact, which I finally did get my hands on after visiting eBay. So yeah, oh, here we go. We have zoomed in a little bit more. I've got all the pieces already chopped off. I thought we're going to make this bit a lot quicker for you rather than dawdle. But I do want to show the entire gluing together and building process for all these miniatures. And as I said, hopefully I'll be able to find some sort of interesting way of editing them to make it slightly more interesting. Otherwise, I'm just going to use this as an excuse to babble on, update you on what's going on with the channel and that sort of stuff. Any ideas I have for like the army that I'm building for. Basing-wise, I have genuinely no idea. My brain keeps wanting to do snow bases as a general default, but I really have to think how I want my sort of first company of my Ultramarines to be based. I do like the idea of them being based at like the Northern Polar Defense, like the original first, well, not the original first company, but the one which got sort of mostly wiped out. The snow base is always tempting. Then again, I do like city rubble. Gives us a great excuse for destroyed bits of buildings and scenery, all that kind of stuff. We're getting that leg on there, putting some more glue on there. Putting that middle arm in. Right there. It's applying a bit of pressure with the blade. Because, well, I can't really remember why. I don't know why that appeared on the screen, but there we go. There we get a bit more glue. Get the right-hand side sort of limbs attached. Gonna get this middle one in place. Oh, crikey, we are really zooming ahead. And that is, I think, yeah, I was struggling getting that onto the base for some reason. I had no idea why. It was very confusing. Anyway, but that one is now done. We are going to wiggle this cutting mat around a little bit, and we are going to get right ahead and building this last Von Ryan's Leaper. I don't know who chose the name for that. I don't. It's a bit of a tongue twister for me, and I'm not really keen on it. To be honest, I was calling it. Tried recording this earlier and ended up calling it Von Ryan's Reaper for a while, which was a bit frustrating. I did about 2 different takes saying the same thing, and it was well, this is the 3rd or 4th take now, so hopefully things have improved a little bit. And obviously, as yet, I've still not done a script. I think once I move to the new house, I may have to try scripting videos rather than just winging it as usual. Apparently, that could be a good thing to do. Hopefully, we've got lots of projects. I've got a lot of projects planned in the new house, so do make sure you've liked, followed, and indeed subscribed to these to this video, this channel, so you don't miss out on all of that sweet content once I start to be able to record it. However, here we go. We're sticking on the final. This was a bit of a. I think I got the angle wrong, admittedly. No, I don't. I'm amazing. There we go. There they are. All 3 built pretty quickly. Didn't take too long. I do have more Tyranid videos coming, so do make sure you've subscribed, as I just said. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye. Bye.